How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Devil May Crypto. Today I'm going to be reviewing High Performance Blockchain, talking a little bit about the project, what it's planning on doing, my opinion on it, and the future of the project. Before I get too far into it, just want to do a few shout-outs. I got a bunch of followers very recently. Ronan Morley, TJ Mathletics, Mauricio Balboa, Nino Jew, DJ Crypto, Haluk Murtaglu, Kurikula, John Shearing, John V, Luan Min, John Threat Alf, and a huge shout out to probably my favorite channel, Ready Set Crypto, for following. Love all you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me. But getting back into it, High Performance Blockchain. A little bit before we start, it's a world's first blockchain to have accelerated hardware chips. The blockchain is a software system that has integrated with the hardware acceleration engine that they are going to put out there. So basically, it's a marriage of software and hardware together. But it allows for extremely quick transactions and the speed of it. So they're looking for millions of transactions per second. It's a very exciting project. If you want to hedge against some of the issues we're having right now with scaling and transactions per second that a lot of the largest projects are currently struggling with, HPB is probably a way that you can hedge against that. But let's go ahead and get into it. Another quick thing I wanted to say before I start, for everybody that likes, subscribes, and comments on this video, in my last video, which I'll link after this one, I'm doing a Neo prize drawing, basically. I'm going to put in a randomized a subscriber / somebody that commented on my video, and I'm going to give them one Neo. I'm going to give it probably 2 or 3 more days until I actually do the drawing, and I'll announce it on my next video, and then I'll kind of show it on there. But if you want to do that, you can also subscribe and comment and like on this video, and it'll be the same thing, but also check out the other video. But let's get into it. So starting out, of course, unlimited speed evolution. One of their main tenets, who they are, and how they want to present themselves is speed. They want to be the answer to the scaling and speed, the TPS problems that we're currently facing. We'll talk about a little bit about their chip-level acceleration engine, build a public chain based on hardware accelerator chip drivers that they create themselves, deep integration of hardware and software. The chip can be highly customized, providing hardware acceleration support for the public chains and with performance bottlenecks. You'll hear that quite a bit, especially through the white paper. Their million-level concurrent algorithm. They want to build a DApp ecosystem based on HPB to support scenarios that require high-performance blockchain. It's almost like a jab at Ethereum. If you don't know what happened with Ethereum when CryptoKitties came out, completely clogged up the entire system. They want any single type, a myriad of games, banks, transfers, retail stores, whatever may have you, a flood of millions of transactions. They want to be able to face it. They're like, we don't care, we got the answer to it. So a lot of the problems that a lot of the blockchains that are currently dealing with, for example, Ethereum is currently trying to deal with sharding and the plasma network. Not the kind of sharding that you're thinking about, but so basically what they're trying to say is they can take it all on. They can all do it all themselves with millions of transactions per second, which is quite a lofty goal. Moving on to it, I'm going to talk a little bit about the team. So we have 4 different co-founders here. The tough part about a lot of these Chinese organizations is if you're in the United States, or if you're not, if you don't speak the language, it might be a little bit tough to find out a lot of information about them. But they do link to their LinkedIn's. Talks a little about, so Li Zhu, tech VP of High Performance Blockchain. Before, he was CEO of HyperSilicon company, and then he had a few other companies that so AirAsia, but generally you can see that he has some experience. Xiaoming Wang, which is, going back to it, the founder and CEO, kind of seems to be the main of all of them. He also was the founder of Shanghai Zhaoqi Network Technology Company Limited. God, I'm butchering all these names, but co-founder of Unipay Smart. So he definitely has some. He was also the CTO of Belt China International, but he's got experience. They all have somewhat something they can fall back on. You know, being the you know, they have some sort of resumes that you can look at. And then Jingson Lee, he was a blockchain senior analyst before coming into high performance blockchain. So definitely some experience going into the project HPB before, you know, they had something at least to look at. Some of these teams and other projects, they don't really have much, or they're from a completely different type of sphere of experience. You know, somebody that came from being a teacher and going on into, and like an English teacher and going on into blockchain. So their best part is almost, I want to say, as much as I like the co-founder team, but their advisors and investors are crazy. They already have their foot, you know, set into the Chinese ecosystem of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Neo, already a partner, already in talks with Neo. As Neo tries to scale forward, I'm sure going on in the future that high-performance blockchain will have something to do with it. Of course, Trinity Network, which I've already done a video on too, is trying to answer some questions for Neo also. But an amazing team of advisors and investors. This guy, Zhongru Wan, Nobel Prize winner, I believe, for physics. Kai Long, executive president at UnionPay Smart. UnionPay is an absolutely massive company. It's kind of like having a president of American Express on your team. And then they have, you know, a few other guys, Dongfeng or Zhen Shen. He's a president of a fund. But, you know, it kind of goes on. You can look a little more at them. If you look them up, some of them are actually easier to find than some of the founders. So great team in general. Moving on to the roadmap. So Q2, they plan to launch their mainnet. Their testnet was already launched, and you can look at, you know, a lot of it's on GitHub, and there's other YouTube videos actually going over it. And then the end of the fourth quarter, they want to they're launching their industry implementation solution plan. I like that they made it one word. They'll collaborate with industry leaders on exploring and developing the platform to test the value of HPB with the actual businesses. 2019, the final version goes online. So Q1 of 2017, they weren't even public yet, so they had just kind of started working on the project. But by 2019, they want to have their final version. So we'll see if they can hit that. But their testnet came out when they said it was going to. As we move forward, I'll probably do another video if they're hitting a lot of these their roadmap. You know, if they're actually, you know, going to go live in 2019 and everything else like that, we'll be able to comment on that more. But generally, I do believe in them. Great team. I'm going to talk a little bit about, you know, not super technicals, but I want to get into their white paper a little bit. So let's go and do that now. So first thing I want to talk about is the smart contract system. So they have a general virtual machine mechanism. In a way, it has a modular design enough to work with other blockchains and other protocols. So as you see, we have the Neo virtual machine, the Ethereum virtual machine that I can communicate with. It's very cool because I think actually it's the first one that can be used with the Neo virtual machine, and that's why probably Neo is an angel investor in the system, because it is also a solution for the TPS issue. You know, like I said, Trinity Network is already working on something along those lines, but as you know, we get to the hundreds of thousands or millions or whatever may have you, I can see where they can be implemented to just modularly work with these organizations to make things run a lot smoother, easier, and more efficiently. And so I think that's going to be huge. So we also have their application services. They have blockchain APIs and SDKs. API, if you don't know what that is, it's an application programming interface. What that means is it's kind of like a way to communicate between different softwares. It's like a Rosetta Stone, a language basically. And so that supports data query, multiple blockchains, and transaction submissions with other blockchain operations. They also have SDKs, which is a developer's kit. It comes with a myriad of different programming languages for people to be easily, you know, hop into it and start working on it right away. So it's very friendly, and with other blockchains is basically what they're trying to say with these two. It's very important to their whole system, and how they kind of want to be agnostic with other blockchains in a way to be able to help in all assets, in all forms, no matter what other protocol you're using. So I think that's great. So the way they're going to facilitate these millions of transactions transactions per second is through their application layer, HPB bottom layer, physical, and then of course their hardware layer, which is their BOE acceleration engine, along with their core network node. The way they explain it is, as shown above, the architecture consists of two parts: hardware architecture and software architecture. It's a fusion of the HPC, high performance computing, blockchain concept, cloud computing, hardware systems with distributed core nodes, an HPC powered universal communication network, and HPC powered cloud platform. Okay, so they also run on a delegated proof of stake consensus algorithm. Oh my god, I can't talk today. So a delegated proof of stake consensus algorithm. It's kind of like a tongue twister if you really think about it, guys. So I think you should take it easy on me. But that's how they're going to help facilitate those millions of those millions of transactions per second. I think that's it for me, guys. I think that's we should just end the video right there. But anyway, I just wanted to say that their white paper, I believe it's going to go to a version 2. It's like a version 1.5. It's about I think 15 pages long here. Let me see. No, 22 pages long. Sorry. It gets technical enough. It doesn't bore you though. It really gets deep down into it though. I think you should check it out. Do your own research per usual. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the price and what's going to happen, my own opinion on it, and then we're going to wrap up the video. Here on CoinMarketCap, currently priced at $2.95. I don't like to talk about price too much. Like I mentioned before, time and time again, time in the market beats timing the market. But if you had to time the market, now would probably be a good time. The reason I say that is came out $2.93 as the initial post-ICO price. It's currently at $2.95. Might go down even more. So what would you wait for that? All I'm saying is, if you like the project, when you do your own research, if I've piqued your interest enough today, it seems to be at a great price recently. It's on a few exchanges currently: Bbox, BitZ, and KuCoin. Bbox being a pretty massive one, along with KuCoin. When it hits Binance, you're going to see quite the surge. Generally speaking, social is great. Their Twitter's pretty lit. I like their Reddit. I'll be posting this on the Reddit, so shout out Reddit. But anyway, great project. My personal view of it is it's going to be a little bit tough because no one else is really doing it like this. No one else is morphing like the hardware along with the software. But comparatively, EOS, since this is the Chinese EOS, their market cap is staggeringly higher than high performance blockchains. Okay, so if you want to look in that sense, it has a lot of room for improvement and going up in price. But I think it's a great project, great team. Hopefully they can hit all their roadmap. I'll try to do another video on them a few months from now, just as an update. But I do recommend this one. I've already bought some myself, and I'll keep kind of accumulating as we go along. But to wrap up the video, thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Like I said in the video, if you want to win a Neo, do it on this one or my last video, which I'll link right after this. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. You are the best viewers ever, and I'll see you next time on Devil May Crypto.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's